Okay, hello everyone. My name is Fianza. In this video, I will explain about how to create e-commerce using Ruby on Rails framework. Okay, so in this video, we will be diving into the world of e-commerce and building our very own online store from scratch using the powerful Ruby on Rails framework. Okay, so let's move to the prerequest. In the prerequest, I will ask you to check in your machine whether you have installed these tools for building our e-commerce. The first one is sure the text editor. Yeah, in the text editor in this video, I use the Visual Studio Code to help me writing my code. You can use the another tools like Sublime Text or Vim. That's free. Another one is the you have to make sure that you has installed the Ruby in your machine. So yeah, you can see in my screen that I have checked my Ruby by using this command. Yeah, so Ruby has installed my machine, which has version 3, and I have Rails also in my machine. So yeah, it's completed now. You have Ruby, you have Rails, you have text editor, and another one, make sure you have knowledge about the Ruby. So yeah, it just not only know the Rails, but you have to know the foundational of the framework, which is the Ruby programming language, right? So okay, that's what's the prerequisite. If you have to with it, we can move next to the initialize the project. In Rails, we have uh, several commands that speed up our development process, that make us as a programmer productive. So yeah, for example, we can create the project using the Rails new command, and we can create the name of the project, which is I choose e-commerce example, for example. Yeah, as we can see, the Rails will generate the several file and folder like this. It's very awesome, right? So yeah, we will I will explain the briefly, the short as short as possible, so it's not too verbose to explain everything. So yeah, the Rails we will generate several directory here and several file. Maybe I will the first one is the app folder, which contains asset, the channel, the controller, and as you know, the Rails was the MVC framework, which the M stand for models, um, and V it stand for view, and C stand for controller. So in the MVC framework, the model is the class that responsible to connecting with the database. Yeah, in Rails we call it the active record. So this one the best, the first class they generated by the Rails. And then we have the controller, which is connected with the routing. So when end user access our page, that basically their access, that means their access the routing, right? Yeah, I will explain it while I'm coding later. So in the next video, we have a few that was the function for as the user interface for our end user, for our customer. So yeah, it will connect it through the controller. We place the model in the controller, and then controller will render our coding or logic in the web view using the view here. It's using Ruby and HTML ERB. Okay, that's fine. We got another folder, but yeah, maybe later I will explain you what is exactly the function of the folder. So we have the bin directory for the script, right? So the script the generator script located here. Maybe we will not touch here later. And we have config. Now in the config we have roots here. As I told before, the roots will connect it to the controller. We will um, meet it later. And that was the environment. Since we are developing multiple environment like development, production, test, we have different configuration. We have database YAML. So in this video, in the first video, I will explain the how to build program using SQL at first, but in the next video maybe we can use the PostgreSQL, right? Yeah, as we can say in the environment folder, that's same apply to the database YAML too, which is we have different environment here. For example, we have database for development environment, we have database for testing environment, and we have database for production. So that's it. In this case, we only have three environment, but you can have more than three environment. Another one is the database. Yeah, the Rails generates it first, but then after we create the migration, we will see schema file and there are schema file and the migration script as well. We will see that later. Yeah, we have log folder for the development log. It will located here. The lib for extend our module code later, and we have storage. Now it related to our file later or big file. And the test folder was the automation test. The automation test located here later. But if we use the another tools like RSpec, we have to create spec folder. But don't worry, we will discuss it later. So we have the ignore file and the gem file for the dependency that involved in our e-commerce project. Yeah, Ruby and Rails has terminology gems for the dependency. We can use the gem for speed up our development. Okay, I think that's all for the generated. We can move to the next session. Yeah, okay. Before we move to the migration, maybe we can change directory to the our new project. Change directory command, and then we can use the Rails server command. Right? It's so easy. So as we can see, yeah, since we are configuration the program for running in the 43,000 and localhost, then we need our application in the localhost 3000. We can change the configuration if you want to change the port or to change the IP. It's up to you. Okay. Okay. So it's so simple, right? Just or else new to create the project directory and then just run the Rails server to running the previous code. So that's all. Maybe in the next session we will explain about how to setting up the database.